A spiritual lesson with Revolver. Hey everyone, Templar74 here with another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and today's Yu-Gi-Oh video is going to be my thoughts and impressions regarding the latest episode of Yu-Gi-Oh VRAINS, episode 116, Complete Combustion. And I gotta be honest with you guys, this episode was fantastic. This duel between Soulburner and Revolver was great. I'm glad that they gave this story the closure that it deserved between Soulburner and Revolver, especially considering the news that we got yesterday that shocked the Yu-Gi-Oh community, which I'll talk a little bit more about later on in this video. But before I get into that and at risk of further rambling, let's move on to the actual episode. So the episode begins where we left off last week with Revolver getting ready to make his move, his comeback move after Soulburner's impressive turn last episode. And before he does this though, he vows to crush Soulburner. And as we all know from watching this series, and even Playmaker hints at this, Revolver never shows false confidence. If Revolver is confident he's going to win, he's probably going to win. He never shows false confidence, and we see that soon enough as Revolver begins his turn, and he does this with a continuous draw and summon, leading to an attempt to destroy Violet Chimera during this, but every time Soulburner is able to knock it down. However, Revolver does succeed in doing a very impressive summon. He brings out 3 ace monsters right off the bat. He brings out Borreload Savage Dragon, Borreload Dragon, and he brings out the new Triss Byra card, Triss Byra Zerobros. So now he's got these 3 OP monsters on the field, and we see Zerobros, its new effect here, and basically what it does is it banishes every card on the field when a monster is special summoned next to its link, and when they're banished, of course, Zerobros gains 200 attack points for every card that's banished. So Revolver just does a complete wipe of the field, a complete annihilation of the field, ultimately gets rid of Violet Chimera. However, he does get rid of Zerobros there for a little bit. So now the field is wiped clean, and Soulburner at this point is able to survive the destruction here from this turn. However, he knows that he's in big trouble because his field is wiped clean. He has no cards in his hand. So at this point, he's going to need a miracle to get him out of this. However, before he makes his move against Revolver, he does have a bit of a breakdown moment here. And we learn that this is because Soulburner, before he went missing during the Lost incident, he had a fight with his parents, and he said something horrible to his parents, and he always wanted to apologize to them for it, but he got kidnapped and never got the chance because his parents died before he was able to be rescued and reunite with them. And this is tearing Soulburner apart, and finally he just turns to Revolver and says, if you know everything, tell me what I said. And this is just tearing him up because it was so traumatic what happened to him, the loss. He can't even remember what he argued with his parents about. And it's at this point we get something very interesting from Revolver. We get a spiritual message from Revolver. Revolver basically says it doesn't matter, you know, they're not gone. They went ahead of you. You know, they're still with you. They just went ahead of you. And that's basically Revolver's message here. A very spiritual message from Revolver. And I got to admit, there was a really nice touch when Revolver was preaching this. We could see the sky starting to open up and a little bit of light coming through. So that was a nice touch too. It was really Revolver as a preacher right there. And I really enjoyed that. And it's at this point Flame Spirit arrives and reminds Soulburner that Revolver is right. We're all with you. And yeah, it's at this point when Flame Spirit contacts Soulburner, he is able to draw up the confidence to go on with this duel and ultimately defeat Revolver. And we see him draw his card Soulburner before Revolver activates Zerobros' effect, reviving it to the field. And the way it does this is very interesting because when Revolver brings this thing back to the field, now there's 11 banished cards. So Zerobros' attack power is all the way up to 5,200, and he brought it back in the extra monster zone. So now if Soulburner summons anything in the extra monster zone, it's automatically going to reset the chain of destruction. Zerobros is going to banish the cards. It's going to return and come back even stronger. So Soulburner is able to get around this by bringing out reincarnation summons and all this. He's able to just bring them back into the main monster zone to avoid this effect. And ultimately, Soulburner is able to attack Revolver and win the duel. And as Soulburner wins the duel, we see a very interesting thing here with Revolver. We actually see see Revolver's helmet shatter as he's taking this final attack and his life points drop to 0, kind of showing that that veil around Revolver is gone. And that's where the episode left off. Like I said, this was a very impressive episode. It was a very fantastic episode, a well done episode. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this duel. I give this episode really a 10 out of 10. This is a really good episode. It was a very good duel, and I'm glad they gave these two characters ultimate closure for their story, because this is likely going to be the last time that the Lost incident is brought up at this point. And I say this confidently because, and this is where the episode impression is going to end, and I'm going to get a little bit into news discussion. And the news discussion was yesterday. News broke. It appears that Yu-Gi-Oh VRAINS will be ending in September. Literally just a few weeks from now, we are going to get the last VRAINS episode. This was kind of hinted at a little while ago, because when we got the Yu-Gi-Oh 7 news, we were like, okay, there's still going to be like 3 or 4 months left of the show. Okay, great. And then we got some tweets out from the staff on the show that basically said to the effect that they have ended production of VRAINS. And then, of course, we got a new bit of news that yesterday that VRAINS time slot in Japan is going to be taken up by another anime starting in late September, early October. I forget which it is. So, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh VRAINS is going to be ending next month in all likelihood, which is sad because now we thought Arc 5's ending was rushed. This is going to be ultimate crunch time, and I don't see how they're going to pull it off. I know next week, and a little bit of a spoiler alert, I know that we're going to get right into Playmaker versus I, but even so, with 4 episodes left at the most, maybe 5, but most likely just 4, depending on how many weeks there are in September. I don't have my calendar in front of me. Anyway, with 4 episodes left, this is probably going to be the most rushed Yu-Gi-Oh ending ever. I think it's going to put Arc 5 to shame, unfortunately, and it's going to be disappointing because VRAINS had such potential. There's so much more they could have done with this series, but with the ending in 4 weeks, I doubt we're going to get any more of it flushed out. But I'm glad that this particular part of the story did get some final closure here. And yeah, that's basically the news on the Yu-Gi-Oh front. VRAINS will be coming to an end here at the end of September. So with the downer out of the way, and yeah, that's all I've got for you guys, everybody. So as always, in the comment section down below, let me know what you guys thought about this week's episode. Did you think it was great like I did? Did you think it was just there? What are your thoughts on Yu-Gi-Oh VRAINS ending at the end of September? What are your guys' thoughts on the ending? Do you think we're going to have an extremely rushed ending? Just let me know what your guys' thoughts are about all this in the comment section down below, because as always, I enjoy hearing from you. Alright everyone, as always, Templar74 signing off. Have a great day everybody, and I'll talk to you all next time. Goodbye everybody.